What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back another video on the channel. And I went to McDonald's for the second time in 2 weeks because they finally had the McCafe pie, the cookies and cream pie. I tried to order 3 and they had 1 left, but I ordered it on the app. So there's a funny story about that, but I want to review this first. Also got a couple of other things. So I'm not just going to McDonald's just to get a pie. And I saw Oppenheimer, which is a 3-hour-long movie. So we'll talk about that towards the end. So I got a nice little funny story about how my order went. I got a McDonald's cafe pie review, as well as an Oppenheimer review. That is what is on the agenda today. Drop a thumbs up. You guys already know the vibes. I don't know. I feel mentally drained after doing all that. I'm not just going to much lie to you. So let's get right into this pie before it gets cold. It says caution hot on it. Did try to get 3. There was only 1. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You can see the cookies and cream. The outside has a chocolate layer. I've heard a lot of good things about this pie. So I'm not going to waste y'all time. I'm just going to get into the pie ASAP. It's alright. This tastes like the Pop-Tart version of this. It almost tastes exactly the same, just more filling. Outside has a distinct chocolate taste that tastes like a chocolate Pop-Tart. Literally. And the inside has a cream filling that kind of tastes like, I guess, marshmallow-ish. It's okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's nothing to write home about. Yes, I'm gonna eat it because I paid for it, but if I had to rank this, it's probably 3rd on my pie list that I've had so far. In my opinion, still the best pie that I've had is the birthday cake pie from McDonald's. I still think that one tastes the best. Second, I would put the pumpkin pie, believe it or not. I don't know why I like their pumpkin pie better than most. And then this one would be 3rd. It's still good. 4th is actually apple. Apple chunks for me just don't do it. That's just my honest opinion. Not that I dislike McDonald's apple pie, but this one, I would give a 6 out of 10 too. It reminds me of a cookies and cream Pop-Tart, but because of the cream filling ratio, it just tastes off, in my opinion. You can still pick it up if you want to. I don't know if they're running out of them, because I guess everyone's going to flock to get them. I ordered 3, like I said. He said he only had 1 left, literally. Tried to give me 2 apple pies, and I said no. That is my funny story that I'm going to get into as I try the rest of my food. I got a 20-piece because basically it was free with all the points that I had because I had just gotten McDonald's. We got the jalapeno quarter pounder again because I actually like this burger. I said that before, just in case people think it was cap. It's not. It got jalapenos on it. It's got the that creamy queso and the bacon, as well as what I think is the best burger at McDonald's, the quarter pounder. So it's just like an upgraded quarter pounder. So as long as they keep this on the menu at McDonald's, I'm going to order it. Then, of course, a fry, and I got 3 cookies. Kinda. That's the funny story. So, as I always tell you guys, when I order things, I'm just going to get mine ready as we talk about this, from McDonald's, or any place that has an app, I always use the app. The reason for that is you always get discounts or different deals or things of that nature. It's just better to use the app, in my opinion. But there is a caveat. Anytime you try to use the app at McDonald's or any other place, if they don't have something, sometimes they won't even tell you. They'll just try to sneak it past you. And they tried that with me today. So, I go through a drive-thru, and I tell the person a mobile order, give them my order number, normal thing. And I get up to the drive-thru window, and this McDonald's in particular, it's becoming more of a trend in fast food places because, I don't know, I feel like they think that they're not a fast food place. Like, normally, you go up to the drive-thru, the person hands you your food. Now, I know it's not instantaneous, but it usually might take a minute or two to get your food. Happens at Wendy's or any other place. Popeyes, you name it. Recently, they have this whole thing where it's like, hey, can you move up and we'll bring you your food. Now, sometimes that's because they give you something that has to be made from scratch, and I get that. But this McDonald's in particular does it every single time. It's just what they do at this point. So I already know they're going to do it. So I go up to the drive-thru, and of course the woman says, hey, can you pull it into number 2? Because there's numbers on her, like, places. Helps remember. Not a big deal. And we'll bring you your food. I say, hey, no problem. At the same time, because the last time I went, I asked for a particular sauces, which I didn't get. Again. Asked for sweet and sour barbecue and hot mustard. Those are my sauces at McDonald's. If you notice here, I have sweet and sour and barbecue, but not the hot mustard. Okay. Now here's the thing. As I'm asking her, she hands me a bag of food. I know good and hell well this ain't my food. It's too quick. Like, nah, something ain't right. It's not my food. So, without question, normally I'm not this person. I go through everything in the bag, bro. And I mean everything. So I'm looking through the bag, and I open it up, and there's cookies there. Okay, cool, I ordered cookies, so this probably is my food. But I don't like that. Something ain't right. They handed me a thing with 3 drinks. I didn't order 3 drinks. So something's not right. So I look at the next thing, and it's this container. The problem is when I open it up, there's a McCrispy in it. I didn't order that mid-ass McCrispy. That's not my sandwich. I don't order the McMitty. It's not what I order. So I say, listen, I don't think this is my food. There's a McCrispy in here. I don't order a McCrispy. She goes, oh, that's your food. I said, yes, this is not my food. There's a McCrispy. So I open it up, and the receipt on the outside is correct. But the inside, this ain't me. Okay. So after explaining it to her, no problem. She said, oh, we messed the receipts up. No problem. I said, okay. So then they hand me a bag again. New bag. At this point, I don't trust nobody. All I'm really worried about, to be honest, is this pie. Right? I want my cookies and cream pie. I went to McDonald's specifically. Now, I'm not going to tell them that. Like, they don't give a shit that I'm doing reviews. So I looked in the bag, and staring me in the face is not this. It's an apple pie. I say, hey, I didn't order apple pies. I ordered the cookies and cream pie. And she says, oh, okay. So she goes and she gets the manager. You can always tell the manager because he got a nicer shirt. So, dude had a nicer shirt. So, there's 3 apple pies in there. Or so I thought. He comes to the drive-thru window. This is all happening in real time, by the way. He comes to the drive-thru window. And I pull out pie number 1, pie number 2, and say, hey, this isn't the cookies and cream pie. It's an apple pie. But I pull the third one out and it's this one. So I'm already in the green. Because this is what I wanted. But I said there's 2 apple pies. And he goes, oh yeah, we didn't have any more. We only have 1 left. So I gave you apple pies instead. Is that okay? And I said, hey, you know, I'm not trying to be like that guy, but I don't really like apple pies. Now, I'm cutting out for a second because anybody who was here long enough knows that I have a McDonald's story from last year where this happened at a different location where almost the exact same thing, but it was a McFlurry. They said they didn't have any more McFlurries. So I asked the guy for cookies instead. He gave me 1 cookie. I said, this is not enough cookies. So in my head, I'm going, can I have cookies instead of these apple pies? I don't really like apple pies. So the guy looks at me. This is a different McDonald's. I never went back to the McDonald's again because I was going to yank that guy through the drive-thru window. You ever watching this, bro? Just don't talk to me. That guy. If you're that guy that worked at that McDonald's, at that location, and you recognize my face, don't ever talk to me again. I was going to yank you through the drive-thru window. But I didn't. Out of my best, I just accepted the 2 cookies you gave me instead of my McFlurry. Monetarily, that don't match up. But I digress. Let's go back to the original story because now I'm just on a little chatty tirade. Anybody at this point that says I talk too much, you are in the wrong channel because I talk. Unless it's not ASMR. Or even really mukbangs because mukbangs people just eat. Not me. Anyway, back to this story. Guy looks at me when I say, can I have cookies instead? I just said cookies. I didn't give him a number. I was testing him. Because I had time today. So, the guy looks at me and goes, oh man, my bad. I didn't know, you know. And he said, I'll give you 6 cookies instead. I'm okay with that. I'm going to tell you why. Because in my head I was already doing math. What he didn't know is, when I checked the original bag order, they had 3 cookies in that order. Now I ordered 3 cookies, therefore I thought it was my order. But when I handed them back the bag, I didn't realize it. But those are these cookies that are in my lap. 3 cookies. Let's go. So when I look in this bag, and there's the 3 cookies that I ordered, I'm at 6 cookies. So he said, I'll give you 6 cookies. Mind you, I already had 6 cookies. So now I have 12 cookies. That's a fair trade. For me, I got 12 cookies. Y'all don't think I'm playing? Look, 3, 6. Don't play around in here. Give me 12 cookies. Y'all get the idea. There's 3 in each. I got 12 cookies instead of 6. I have no problem with that. So I said, cool. I'll take those instead of the apple pies. No biggie. Give me back apple pies. They handed me 6 cookies. I have no problem with that. I have no problem. So we got 12 cookies, which I haven't tried one of these yet. But I know McDonald's cookies actually bad. So I don't have a problem with it. So that's my menu over there. And my 12 cookies. Yeah. That's a fantastic deal. 2 pies and 12 cookies. I'm taking the 12. Now, I already know there's one person here that probably says, oh, 12 cookies? Can you please shut up and let me enjoy my 12 cookies? In my head, price notwithstanding, I know you can get that dozen cookies box. I don't care. Shut up. Stop being that person. I know you think you're trying to... Let me cook for a second. I don't mean no animosity. I'm just trying to just inform you where I'm coming from. I know you don't mean anything by it. But when you're that person who's always like, hey, I'm just looking out for you, this happened by the time you're watching this 24 hours ago. Therefore, you're not looking out for me. At that point, you're just informing me that technically speaking, one way or another, nobody likes that friend. Not even just me, but the one who's always that actually that. And then on top of that, let me cook for a second, because I know people are going to do this too. The one who does it just joking around because they know that it's annoying. They're like, actually, I'm just kidding, man. Also annoying at this point. We get it. We all get it. When I say we, I'm talking on behalf of me and the other people watching this that are not that person. That person is annoying. There's always that one person that, like, they tell that one joke and you're like, oh my God, just shut up, bro. Because it's like, it's the joke is done already. I just want y'all to know that. So, for me, if I was walking down the street and I had 2 apple pies in my hand and I saw a gentleman holding 12 McDonald's cookies, the money, I don't care about the money. All right, this is a job, so the money it's not an issue because it's McDonald's. Like, I'm not gonna haggle over $2. And they said, hey, I like those apple pies. I'll trade you 12 cookies for them. I'm taking that trade 100% of the time. A fair trade is not always about monetary value. Sometimes it's about when you walk away from the trade saying, I feel like I won this trade. Case in point, the Celtics traded the Big 3 a long time ago. Yes, I'm going to sports because I'm a guy. I watch sports. They traded the Big 3 for like 44 first-round picks, and they're still spending some of those picks, right? They also got back Gerald Harris, Chris Humphries, Gerald Wallace, I'm sorry, Chris Humphries, and a bunch of other pieces of stuff. And everybody said they got fleeced. They didn't, because some of those picks turned into some really good players for the Celtics. So I'm just telling you. So that's how I feel. I feel like I won the damn trade, because I got this, cookies. So, I'm going to eat this cookie and enjoy my trade. I don't want a dozen cookies. Their cookies are good, though. I know they come from a batter. I know there's a one person. Oh, actually, I don't care. What I just say. I just talked for 5 minutes about that. No one cares. I think they're good. I don't care how they come. Entenmann's cookies are the same. They're delicious. Them little boneless cookies, I'm going to eat them 10 times a week. What the hell did I just say? 10 times a week. At this point, I'm just happy with my trade, so I'm a little excited. With that being said, that cookie, for me, fast food scale, it's not quite like Subway Jersey Mike's cookie. But it's up there. When I see Jersey Mike's, I'm at Firehouse. But, up in that area. I don't have a problem with this cookie. Y'all need a rating? That's an 8.5 cookie. A very good cookie. A respectable cookie. Not mad at the cookie. Wendy's cookie is good too. Just in case you're looking for fast food cookies. Anyway, let's talk Oppenheimer. As you probably know, a lot of people this week are doing the Barbenheimer thing, which means that they are watching 2 separate movies. There were people in the theater doing that. I really enjoy the fact that there are 2 large-scale movies that a lot of people want to see at the same time. It just made the movie theater seem like it had more life this time, because a lot of times people were just going for one movie, but you could see. I've never seen so much pink in one theater at one time. A lot of the people that went to watch the movie were wearing pink. Pink dresses, pink heels, pink t-shirts. You get the idea. Pretty cool. Now, There is also a thing, if you don't know, called Barbenheimer, where people are going to watch one movie and then going to watch the other one. It's like a couple's agreement thing, I think, which I think is cool, because I don't want to sit through Barbie, but if I was dating somebody and they said they wanted to sit through Barbie and I got to watch Oppenheimer, I'd be okay with that. Therefore, Barbenheimer, which I do understand. I don't know anything about Barbie thing, but I will tell you this. Because I collect popcorn tins, I did get a pink card. And I paid $64 for this pink card because it came with a doll, which I don't have. I gave the doll away. And a large popcorn. Is it a ripoff? Absolutely. But I got a Toretto Charger over there. And I figured they needed a his and hers. And I don't really care. So what we do here, it's like a prop. I'm not going to watch the movie. But I supported the movie as best as I possibly could. Anyway, let's talk Oppenheimer. Runtime, 3 hours long. Again, but I do understand in this one because it's a long story. And you're telling a story trying to deem some sort of historical accuracy. As a person who has actually read a lot about the Manhattan Project, not necessarily J. Robert Oppenheimer, that didn't roll off the tongue well, as much, but the overview of the Manhattan Project, its conception, what they did, etc., they got a lot of the important details pretty accurate. That's not Toretto. Toretto's car wouldn't backfire like that. The movie, if you're a person who doesn't like biopics, it's very much one. And what I mean when I say that is, if you're expecting like excitement in this movie, it's not going to give you that. Now, there are a lot of explosions in it. But it's not that type of movie. It's more or less telling you a story. It does come to a pretty conclusive, kind of good ending though, and I will give them that. But I think a lot of people, not myself included, I was interested the entire time. But taking myself, my own passion, out of it, I think a lot of people will think the movie dragged because it's very long, and a lot of times they're just telling you what happened. You get what I'm saying? So there's not going to be kind of plot twists or like type of thing. It's not a thriller. It is a biopic, very much so. It almost plays like a documentary at sometimes because they're telling you a story from multiple angles through flashbacks, but it makes it very clear because there's a black and white, which is telling you one story, and then the other one is in color. So you'll be able to tell, which I do like that directorial angle. There's also a thing that it talks about from Robert Oppenheimer's point of view that I didn't necessarily like. Now, I'm sure there's meaning behind it, but other than startling the shit out of me, it just didn't give me a lot. There's a lot of explosions that are going on in his head because he's seeing things not like you. And I get the symbolism behind it, but my head hurt. So that's why I'm just talking about it in that sense. I thought the acting, the ensemble cast, at this point, you will be like, who isn't in this damn movie? Everybody's in this movie. I mean, everybody. I mean, there's recognizably, I would count it, I wish I would have. I would probably say recognizable actors, there's probably about 40 recognizable actors in that movie. And I mean, even the bit parts of people who are in the movie for 2 seconds, I'm like, wait a minute, that's the guy from this. That's the guy from that. At least 40 people I said that with. And at one point, I actually said out loud, and I'm pretty sure the weird guy next to me was a weird guy next to me. Weird. I looked at me because I said, who the hell isn't in this movie? Yeah, it was weird. Anyway. Acting was fantastic. Emily Blunt, she just owns a lot of roles that she's in. And she was really good as his wife. Mr. Murphy, he's been in a lot of his movies. And he's always good. So I expected that. I thought Matt Damon played his role well. It wasn't a lot that required a lot of range for him, but he just knows how to deliver his lines well. And you can go down the line with the amount. Robert Downey Jr., it's a lot of good acting in the movie. Cons for me, runtime. I don't think people will enjoy it if you don't want to see a long movie that's kind of just a story. And a lot of times longer movies have like conflict. There's not a lot of conflict. There is some, but it's within confines of a story. I did like the allusion. They alluded to a lot of historical events that were outside of it within the movie, as far as talking about things that happened before, like Einstein, or after down the line. They're kind of trying to predict the future in that sense. But overall, for me, I thought the movie was very enjoyable. It's one of those movies, though, you have to be in the mood to watch. I just was in the right mindset walking in, because it's just telling you a story. And I repeat that, because I don't want to recommend this movie for someone who's expecting something differently. It's a story, and I mean just a story. There's some cool shots. There's also some explosion things that are a little weird, but I will tell you this. Of course, because the movie is about the Manhattan Project, specifically through Oppenheimer's eyes, and they're talking about, like, you know, the atomic bomb, there's obviously going to show you something like that. There were certain parts of the movie I couldn't hear anybody talking in the theater. Like, it was quiet, and I loved that. That to me is one of the best part of movies. So if you want to clear your schedule and watch it, and you're interested in knowing about the person behind the project, and then the project as well, I think there's a lot of information in there, which I find interesting. I'm not sure if you'll find interesting, but I love that kind of stuff because, again, I read a lot about that era of stuff, and it hit on some things, but some things I didn't necessarily know. So for me, I would give this movie about a 4.2 stars. It's not quite like elite of elite, but it's still a very good movie in my end. I'm definitely going to watch it again when it comes on, but you have to understand that I'm telling you this from the eyes of a person, me. I'm a history buff. I love history. I was a history major in college for my first 2 years, and it's something that I actually read in my spare time, believe it or not. So there is a genuine interest in this kind of stuff for me. And I like to see those kinds of things put to life and like the period pieces and things like that. So understand that I'm trying to give you like a non-biased, but also tell you my point of view type of review. That's why I keep saying if you're not interested in, for that reason. But it was a good movie. This was a fun story. I have a lot of cookies, which I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'll eat 2 of them. How's that? Pie is mid. That's in my opinion. Ashy ass pie. But anyway, that was a fun story. That was a good movie. If you watch Barbie, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not going. That's me to end the video, man. We'll be back tomorrow. More content. I love y'all. The hand signs. They made it to YouTube.